Alright, so let's get started. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on clicking this guide because instead of watching all the other videos, I actually respect you because you decided to educate yourself on how you can actually start achieving your fitness goals. So now, first of all, why should you listen to me in the first place, right? Here's the thing. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, alright? So you should probably take my advice with a grain of salt. I'm just a student who managed to achieve this physique at the age of 20. And if you want to achieve a similar result to mine, feel free to watch ahead. Now, here's the thing. Maybe you're thinking that, oh, Sean, you were always this fit, right? I was never fit in my whole life, right? I used to be this fat and chubby shy kid who will always get made fun of. I'm not joking. And this was me, the first photo, when I was probably around 10 or 11 years old. And this time, I was pretty much at my fattest because every single day in primary school, I would just buy like fries and soda to drink in class. And well, obviously, eating fries every single day, economic you fat, right? And yeah, this is how I looked like when I was 10 to 11. And then as time progressed on in the second photo, I was around 13 or 14 years old. And at this point of time, I was still eating all the junk food every day in school. But of course, as I was growing up, I started to lose a bit of weight. But nevertheless, I was still skinny fat. And you can see my face. My face was also chubby as well, right? And then moving on. Now, here's what I promised you in this video. In this video, I promise to teach you on exactly how you can start actually achieving your fitness goals without constantly making mistakes that slow you down, just as how I did for the past 5 years, right? I made multiple mistakes which slowed down my progress. But then, so in today's video, I want to help you avoid these mistakes and get the right mindset so you can actually start achieving your fitness goals. Now, first of all, I want to get it clear that this video isn't for everyone, right? And this video is not for you if, first of all, you don't really care about your health and fitness, and secondly, you are unwilling to sacrifice anything to achieve your fitness goals. This means you want to keep stuck to your own old ways and not change anything. And the third kind of person, you want a miracle 30-minute workout which will give you abs in 30 days because you're too short-sighted. Well, if you are any of these three kind of person, I highly suggest you to click off this video right now because we're probably not that compatible and I don't want to waste your time. But if you're not any of these three kind of people, congratulations. Let's move on. Now, first of all, who am I? Alright, my name is Sean, and my mission is to inspire as many young guys as possible to develop into healthier and fitter versions of themselves. Right? And if that sounds awesome to you, make sure to subscribe so you can see more content like this in the future. Now, first of all, here are 7 things I wish I knew before starting my fitness journey. These are pretty much the most crucial concepts you will ever hear. Now, the first one is the key concept that builds upon all the other 6 ones, and that is consistency. Now, what do I mean by consistency? You see, here's the thing. Most people believe that if they put 1 unit of effort, they will get 1 unit of progress. And then they think, okay, if in order to get 100 units of progress, I need to put 100 units of time. Well, that simply really isn't the truth when it comes to fitness. Because, truthfully, in the beginning, you will probably put in like 1 unit of effort and probably get like 0.1 unit of progress, which is sounds like a bad deal, right? But here's not to worry. Over time, as you get consistent, if you decide to put in more units of effort as time goes on, the progress you make become exponential. What do I mean by that? So let's say around this point, you're putting 1 unit of effort and you get 1 unit of progress. That's a huge improvement, right? And as you push past that, you put in let's say 10 units of effort, you start to get probably 50 units of progress, which is amazing. You get 5 times the progress you make for the effort. Unfortunately, also I say fortunately, where do you think you end up in the future is absolutely wrong. And actually, if you decide to stay consistent in your fitness journey, you will actually end up much further ahead than you could have ever imagined. Right? The same applies to this graph over here, which I took from Atomic Habits, which basically means that if you improve 1% every single day for a year, you actually get 37.78 times better. Not 37.78%, but 37.78 times better. Although like 1% doesn't seem like much, but over time it compounds. And here's the thing, every single person I know who has succeeded in their fitness journey follows this, right? they have they always have a consistent routine. And some of them may not really train that hard, to be honest. But nevertheless, they still go and follow their routine no matter what. And here's the thing, this is a huge contrast to those people who like suddenly have the motivation to go to the gym and decide to push so hard to the point where they don't enjoy it and eventually just quit altogether. And our goal here to actually start achieving your fitness goals first is to actually make going to the gym or exercising and having a healthy diet to a habit, which is something which you just do naturally and not something which is forced. And you may be asking, okay, now I know that consistency is important. How do I become consistent? Uh, that's a good question. First thing you need to do is to set a schedule which suits you. You know how you see all these influencers nowadays posting like their workout schedules, and like all these influencers nowadays like selling you their workout schedule, like they let's say they do a chest day Tuesday on 2 p.m. and you have to do this at this time, do that at that time. This simply doesn't work for everyone. Why? Alright? Because everyone is unique and you only have and your schedule is pretty much unique to you. That means if you're only free after 5 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, you should probably only make a workout routine during those times, right? Let's say you follow a fitness program which tells you that you have to be working out in the afternoon on Monday. Do you think you'll ever become consistent like that? Because you wouldn't be able to follow that, right? And with the routine that you set, you have to actually make it a non-negotiable to do that thing. What that means is basically, regardless of whatever situation comes up, you still go to work out anyway. Of course, except like it's truly urgent situations. But even then, if you have a truly urgent situation and you have to miss the workout, don't stress out, right? Because that happens every time. Even I do miss workouts a lot of times because of things popping up. But then your goal after that is to replace it as soon as possible. Let's say you can't do it on 5 p.m. on a Monday, then maybe you can replace it on the Saturday or Sunday if you're free during that time, right? And beyond that, like something will actually surprisingly help you stay consistent is actually tracking your progress as well. And no matter how terrible you think you look or how terrible your progress seems to be, and just continue to track it. Let's say write it down on a phone, your weight, or take progress pictures in front of a mirror. No matter how bad you look, don't worry, because over time, once you start seeing the changes, you'll be amazed at just how much progress you have made, and you will become even more motivated to continue. And that's pretty much how we covered the first key concept, which is consistency. And now let's cover the main reason most people fail, including you, which is comparison. First of all, I want you to look at these two fitness influencers, right? The first is Jeff Side, the second is Mike Thurston. Now, think about just I want to ask you, how realistic are these guys' physics? If you say they are realistic, I want you to think again. These guys are pretty much the top of their field. These guys are pretty much the specimen, the top specimen of humankind in terms of their body, in terms of their physics, right? And I just want you to look at the people around you, right? And think about it for a second. I can almost guarantee that 99% or even 99.9% of people around you don't even look close or even remotely close to how these fitness influencers look. Not even those who actually work out. Because you see, what you're seeing on the internet is literally the top 0.01% of the world's population. Maybe you might be disagreeing and saying, no, I see on Instagram, I see like, there are thousands of these fitness influencers who look as jacked as these guys. But here's the thing, let me ask you, let's say there are thousands of these influencers on the internet and you can see them every time. Just how many people are on this earth? More than 7 billion people, right? And how much percent is like a few thousand over 7 billion? Now you get what I mean? These guys are just the top specimens of human population. Stop comparing yourself to them. They probably also have elite genetics as well. And not only that, right? social media is not reality, like I said. And even if you see these pictures of these crazy transformation of these guys on the internet, keep in mind they are not necessarily real. They could be taking performance enhancing drugs like steroids, having different photo angles, lighting, or even have their photo edited. And what do I mean by that, right? Let me show you in the next photo. This is basically my physique. And here's how some simple tweaks can actually totally transform my physique. Right? In the first picture over here, and I swear to God, and trust me, these two photos were taken pretty much in the same time, right? No difference at all. And in the first photo, I had bad lighting, no pump. This means I didn't go to the gym earlier, and I didn't add any kind of filter to it. And you see my physique. Yes, I had a pretty fit and decent physique, but you see, nothing too crazy, right? But during the same time, right, with a better overhead lighting and having a gym pump, that means I went to the gym earlier, and you can pretty much see just how big of the difference these two photos are, right? I could lie to you and tell you, oh, this photo in the left is the before transformation, and the photo in the right is the after transformation. When pretty much they are the same photo, just with different lighting, different angles, and having a pump. And let alone what can actually, and let alone what performance enhancing drug like steroids can do to your physique as well. So just keep that in mind when it comes to comparison. As long as you make progress, that is the most important thing when it comes to fitness. Stop comparing yourself to others because it may not be realistic at all. Now that we covered the main reason most people fail, which is comparison, let's go on to the next point, which is talking about your mindset and your beliefs. Right? Now, I want you to think about I want to take a look back at the time when I was around 14 in the picture, right? I was skinny fat, I was chubby, I had like acne all over my all over my face. I had the poorest or pretty much at the lowest point I have ever been in my life. Right? I had poor mental health and the girl I had liked had just dumped me and yeah, this point, do you think I really believed that I could get abs? Because that was my goal, right? I wanted to get abs, but I never believed in that. I thought it was just something only people with God given genetics could get. No, here is why I'm talking about beliefs. It truly is all in your mindset, right? Because you want to ask yourself, what are your limiting beliefs? What do you truly believe about yourself? And the truth is, I didn't have good genetics at all during the time. But after that, when I switched my belief that I could achieve what these fitness influencers achieve, and I could follow their program and learn something from them, I could actually do it. And fast forward a few years later, I achieved my dream physique, right? And that's why you should ask yourself, what are your limiting beliefs? Do you actually believe you can actually get a six pack? Do you actually believe you can run a complete marathon, let's say? Because your dreams and your beliefs are not the same. Many people dream of having a bungalow, a Lambo, having owning a private island, but do they truly believe they can get it with the right actions? Because if you don't believe it, no matter, even if you're doing quote unquote the right actions, you probably still won't be able to achieve it because the mind is the one that actually controls your body, not the other way around. And I truly believe this, but if you have the right beliefs, pretty much can do any action. Because whatever fitness tactic you choose to follow, you'll succeed in that. You see, the way I got to my dream physique was basically me believing that I could do it and then just repeating the same thing over and over again for 5 years. Do you think if I didn't believe in my own ability to achieve this physique, I would be able to stay consistent for 5 years? Right? It doesn't work that way, right? If I didn't have the belief, why would I put myself through so much pain and suffering to get there and to push myself through the workout and to stay consistent on my diet? Wouldn't be possible, right? But I truly believe that okay, I can get there. And that's why I was able to repeat the same thing over and over again for many years. And now that we covered the beliefs that may be holding you back, now let's go into more specific details regarding workout, right? And that's the thing in it. There's no one single magic workout. You see, when I first started my fitness journey at 15, I thought that the way to get abs was by actually following this 30-minute six-pack abs workout routines. Right? What I was doing was I would search up these workout ab routines, maybe Tabata if or HIIT workouts, which maybe you have heard of before. And I would just see these insanely jacked dudes doing this ab workout, and I was like thinking, okay, if I do this ab workout, I will get the same result as these guys. Obviously, that didn't work, and I wasted months of my time and ended up having no result. I remember just doing those sit ups, and me looking at my own chubby tummy and be like, man, why aren't the abs appearing at all? Here's the thing, there, there truly is no magic workout that will make it work, right? There's no such workout we have to get ab quick, lose fat quick, or even build muscle quick. No such thing. But the truth is, if you follow these scientifically proven workouts, these exercises can help you build muscle or lose fat or get abs quicker. Quicker as in a sense, instead of taking 3 years, maybe you get 2 years to get there. Because think about it, wait, right? If you spend the last 10 years accumulating extra fat in your body, are you going to lose all of it in 10 days? Unless you do some kind of surgery? Probably not, right? Exactly. The same applies here. Of course, this is not to demotivate you to tell you that, oh, if you spend the last 10 years accumulating fat, you need another 10 years to lose it all. No, absolutely not. You probably can lose it all quick. Quick as in a sense, maybe in 1 or 2 years or 3 years, which is still amazing considering you destroyed your body, or should I say, you took 10 years to make your body into an ideal condition, right? So, stop believing in the magic workout thing. And like I said, and another thing I want to share with you, and another thing I used to do is also I used to get stuck in this rabbit hole of constantly finding the best workout routine to build muscle, because I believe that if I wasn't doing the best routine, there was no point in me working out, because I had a tendency to become perfectionistic. I kind of needed the perfect workout routine before I got started, and that also wasted a lot of my time, because the truth is there's no one single best workout. You choose the best workout that works for you, as long as you can stay consistent. Now that we covered that there's no such thing as a magic workout, let's cover onto the fact that most people think that you need to make huge changes in order to start achieving your fitness goal. And the truth is, you do not need huge changes to make. And let's say you are initially this kind of guy in the left, where pretty much you go to school or work and then come back home, and all you do is lie on the couch, watch TV, or scroll social media, and eat junk food and watch Netflix. You pretty much have never done a single day of exercise in your life. You pretty much never had a consistent day of exercise, and you hate exercise in general, and you love eating junk food. Do you think, like, immediately, in order to start making changes, you should start going to this guy over in the right here and exercising every single day and eating healthy every single day and eating a healthy every single meal? Probably not, right? Because you eventually burn out. And that's why you do not actually need to make huge changes, because our bodies are really just adapted to familiarity. And this is a state called homeostasis, which basically means that once we get used to a certain lifestyle or way of living, if you push yourself too far to the other extreme, even though it's healthy for your body will automatically reject it, and you will just shut down you will basically just shut down no matter how hard you try to push through, right? And that's why if you make changes that are simply just too big, we tend to easily burn out. But maybe some of you may be thinking, yes, I can just push through. I believe in myself. Yeah, you can push through, probably. But here's the thing, our willpower is limited, right? It's normal. Your goal should be increased. Your goal should be to increase the amount of work you do without increasing your perceived effort. And what do I mean by that? Our willpower, just an analogy I like to use, our willpower is like a battery, right? Like a full bar of battery. Every single day we wake up. Let's say we have 4 bars of battery. For each effort we put in, we lose 1 bar of battery, right? So what you want to do over time, instead of putting 1 unit of effort and actually going and reducing bar of battery, what you want to do is to actually put in the same amount of effort but actually only reducing half a bar of battery. So instead of only doing 4 hard things in a day, you can progress to actually doing 8 hard things a day. And over time, you can split it into 1/3 and it become 3 times, 4 times. And over time, you can start to do a larger amount of hard things without using too much of your willpower. Like for me personally, right now, let's say if I go to the gym and I'll go exercise, that really doesn't reduce my willpower that much because my body is adapted to it. So the way you adapt to it but is by implementing like progressive overload. And what that this means is to slowly increase workload over time. So what that means, for example, like today, this week you exercise 1 time a week, then the next week you want to probably increase that to 2 times a week, and then by 3 times a week, and so on. Or maybe you can think about this way: instead of today just running for 5 minutes, tomorrow you can run for 6, then the next day you run for 7, 8, 9, 10, and that eventually builds up your workload, and you eventually use less effort to get the same amount of work done. And eventually also it becomes a habit, which leads you back to the first point. You become consistent and you can actually start achieving your fitness goals from there. Now that we covered that, right? Now that we covered the myth that you need to make huge changes to start making fitness progress, now let us move on to the next point, which I believe that most people, most fitness influencers never talk about or even tell you about, and which is enjoyment is underrated. You see, here's the thing. So many people are like kind of pushing, depends what kind, so many people are kind of pushing you to like, oh, you should go to the gym, you should lift heavy weights and stuff like that. And while that is beneficial, right, nobody talks about enjoyment. What do I mean by enjoyment? You see, you need to actually enjoy your exercise for it to work. If you don't like enjoy lifting weights, let's say you've gone to the gym and lifted weight consistently for like a few weeks, and you actually genuinely don't enjoy it, stop forcing yourself to lift weights, right? You can find something else that works. You see, there are so many alternatives that can help you achieve your fitness goal. Let's say your goal is aesthetics, right? You want to have an aesthetic looking physique, and you want to look good, and you want your body to look good and have some muscle and to be quite lean. You can actually start doing like calisthenics, which are bodyweight exercises. And many times, calisthenics can enjoying and can be more fun, and you can get more enjoyment from that, right? That's a good alternative. Also, beyond that, maybe you enjoy swimming. Well, you can see many swimmers, they have pretty good physics. Not exactly the biggest muscular ones, but you can build something decent for by that. And then, then there are many other exercises you can try out, like running, right? So the key is finding something, finding an exercise which you can enjoy for a long period of time, so you eventually manage to get consistent, right? And maybe some of you might be saying, but Sean, I just don't really enjoy exercising. I'm never a guy who just exercises, right? What do I do? And that brings me on to my last point, and which is just how badly do you want it, right? Now, back to these photos when I was from 10 to 11 up to around in this first and third photos, I was probably 13, 14, 15, right? I just wanted to share you a story, right? At this point of time, right, I had terrible physique, I had low self-esteem, low confidence, terrible acne on my face. You can see from the first photo, I just looked horrible in general. I just hated myself, right? And to top it all off, I had just gotten dumped by a girl who I had liked a lot, and she had started chatting with other guys. At this point, I was at my lowest point in my life, and here's the thing, this was my trigger event. I decided to use the gym as a way to cope, as a coping mechanism for me to improve myself and to get over that negative energy that I had kept inside my body. And I want to ask you, and that's what I want to point out. It's basically you need a trigger event for it to you to want it badly enough to start making changes in your life. Right? Something which makes you absolutely sick and tired of your current state. How I did, right? I was so tired of being who I was and being at the same state in the period, same state here, and I was fine with making any kind of change and to start improving myself and changing my physique and my health for the better and to start becoming fitter and better looking. And that's why I truly believe in this quote from the internet, which is basically when the pain of staying the same hurts more than the pain of changing, that's when you actually change. Me staying in that state and not doing anything, being lazy, not exercising, although it was fun, but when I physically looked at myself in the mirror, I just couldn't bear it anymore. And that pain was much more than the pain of just staying consistent, having a healthy diet, and going to the gym consistently. And that's why I decided to make the change. So my question to you is, how badly do you want it? And what is your trigger event? Do you have do you truly have a reason for you to change? Or are you just perfectly fine with where you are right now? And that is why, and that is pretty much it. I pretty much covered all the mindset you need to start achieving your fitness goal. And I've delivered on this promise, which is basically teaching you on how you can start actually achieving your fitness goals without constantly making these mindset mistakes that just slow you down. First of all, I covered the consistency concept, which is basically no matter what you decide to do, you actually have to be consistent and to stay consistent. And secondly, the main reason most people fail, having unrealistic standards, constantly comparing themselves to other people, other fitness influencers on social media. And the third thing, which is that this false belief that you have about yourself, thinking that you're not deserving of getting a fit body. And then after that, I covered that truly is no covering that there is truly like no magic fitness routine or workout that will actually change your body immediately. And no matter what plan you kind of follow, if you stay consistent, you eventually reach your fitness goal. And then after that, I covered that you actually do not like to make a day and night change for you to make progress. And in fact, making such a huge change can actually cause you to fail instead. After that, I covered basically how you should actually enjoy your workout and exercise. And finally, I concluded it with a question, which is how badly do you want it? Because you need to really identify what is that burning problem that you need to solve, which is causing you pain, right? If you have that trigger event, then you do anything to change no matter what. And that's pretty much it for the video. And if you want to watch, and I've actually published something even better, which is the high performance sleep protocol, which you can actually use to achieve your fitness goals in 2024, which I suggest you watching right after this. And then I also have a good news, which is that I'm hosting an online live event where I will be teaching you about various topics around like fitness, nutrition, and my gym workout routine, my diet, that kind of stuff. And you can hop in to ask me any kind of question if you would like to. And that will be on the 15th of June, which is on Saturday. And it will be at 9 p.m. GMT plus 8 time zone. If you are from any other time zone, GMT plus 8 time zone, which is the Malaysian time zone, which I'm in. And if you're at any other time zone, you can use the time zone converter to find out what time, and if it works for you, feel free to join in so you can ask me any kind of question. And that's pretty much it for the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you truly found it valuable, and thank you so much. Remember, I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next one.